Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Cancerians, we're gonna go ahead and do. I know it's Sunday. I'm sorry, this week was a nightmare because I was moving all week from different locations, and it's a distance move, so everything was thrown off target all week. So you guys, normally I try to put out videos for Cancer on Tuesday and Saturday. Instead, you guys got one on Friday and now on Sunday. So sorry, we just got to roll with what the universe throws at us. But Cancer, I'm doing a kind of more like little detailed message for starters, the same way I've done for every other zodiac on the other channel. So I kind of sat down and just kind of did a little meditation, and whatever popped in my head, words, images, whatever, I jotted down. So Cancer, I had this image first of somebody. I saw swirls, and then I realized it was like swirls of ice cream. Now, it could have also been like a toy or a stuffed animal that looked like it had swirls of ice cream, or even like a cupcake top on it, or maybe somebody makes cupcakes. But it's that shape, that spiral, coming to the little peak. And it definitely seemed like, sweet and cute and sprinkly or yummy or tasty or something like that. Something that we would view as like a treat. Then I saw a medallion, but the medallion was first, it was like a necklace, and then I saw it as like the markings on a rug. And so I don't know shapes seem to be a big thing. So I don't know why shapes are important unless somebody is like maybe an artist or maybe an architect or something like that. But, swirls and medallions and things like that, maybe metallurgy or jewelry making as well. Or like I said, cake decor or something like that. But there's definitely, I feel like we have either a Cancerian is very visual and they pay attention to like shapes and dimensions a lot. And then we also have, I had the image of somebody signing papers. Now, if this was signing, in the color yellow, by the way. But if this was somebody that was like busy signing papers, there could be like yellow highlighter on something like an initial here. I felt like it was contractual. I felt like it was an important set. Anything that we sign, we figure is probably important, right? But this in particular. Okay, so we have an Eight of Pentacles. It's sideways. This could have something to do with, either a character has to read through some documents because they're going to need to sign a contract, like for like a work contract. We could have a workman coming in or workwoman coming in to do work, or perhaps this is a contract to sign about work, but it says review it carefully. Even review it again the night before you hand it back in. Make sure that you read it, make sure that there's somebody else who reads it, because this is going to be something that Cancer would put their energy into. We have Ace of Cups. If this is a love contract, then it's not a written piece of paper, but it's written on one's heart. We have the Chariot. There's Cancerian. Somebody adores Cancer. Somebody wants Cancer to move in with them. Is this somebody who's going to want to like really swiftly move in together? Like, let's live together. Put you on my lease. Put me on your lease. Can we do that? Can we make that happen? King of Swords. Boy, this person is seeming to be very serious. There may be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius who really wants Cancer to move in with them, or who will. Now, Cancer might be a little bit torn on this. They might need to sleep on this. They might need to think about this. By the way, there's that medallion. He may wear a medallion and then has something turquoise that hangs from it as well. This very much looks like a Persian king or something, very like chiseled features. It almost looks like, somebody out of a book or something, like a hero out of a book. They could be extremely attractive, the classic tall, dark, and handsome, or just somebody who has like really notable features, like whatever rocks, Cancerians, but we all have different, preferences to what we think is attractive, right? But they could have a very particular like look that, Capricorn's like, oh my God, there's so much what I find attractive. What's so interesting though, I feel like this is somebody trying to persuade Cancer to either move in with them, be with them, stay with them. And Cancer might be, in order to do that, they have to either leave something else behind. If you're going to be living with someone, then you're not going to be single anymore. If you're going to leave where you live to go move with somebody else. Or, of course, the choice is always would Cancer want to stay with this person or not? They want Cancer to stay. And I'm hearing that song, "We Got Tonight, Babe, Why Don't You Stay?" But I think it's more than just tonight. Queen of Wands. There is definitely an energy here of, look, Cancer doesn't just say yes because somebody else wants them to. Cancer has their own ideas, their own sense of dignity, their own sense of purpose, and they may not be agreeable, even if they love this person, to giving up all of their single life. This could even be that I want to live with you, but I also still want to keep my own place. I mean, this is like, I would have to give up my single life. Am I really ready to do that? There's a lot of autonomy I've enjoyed. I don't know that Cancer's ready to be locked down with someone. Four of Swords sideways. Cancer might be struggling with this, knowing that somebody's heart could be broken if Cancer won't agree to do this. With that Four of Swords sideways, it's like, it's hard to tell them and explain to them, I can't lose some of my autonomy, or I'm not ready to say yes. I keep seeing indecisiveness, and I think it's on Cancer's side. It feels like somebody is very, very much like, why don't you just move in with me, Cancer? This would be great. We can cohabitate. We don't have to do long distance. Just move here and be with me. And I don't know that that's agreeable for Cancer. Cancer has a lot of, maybe there's elements of like a specific, like move and leave your entire life, leave your culture, come live in my world, in my part of the world. And Cancer could be like, that's a huge ask for me to leave everything behind that I've ever known. And while I'm very independent, it could be that that would make me feel, at a disadvantage. I would rely on you because you speak the language and I don't. I would rely on you for many things because I would not have, I wouldn't be established. I wouldn't be able to drive a car there yet. I wouldn't be able to do so many things at first. This could be a big consideration for Cancerian. What would I do with jobs? What would I do? This is a lot. And it could even be that Cancer is like going through this thought process rather than signing papers. Like, what would that be like? I'd be, even if you're going to leave a place, you have to sign papers oftentimes, but all of this says, yeah, Five of Pentacles. Even if this is a very appealing place to go, or I mean, I almost feel like, is this person like a prince or their royalty or something? And it's like, but I'd have to move to your castle to be with you. And I think that I would feel like I'm losing too much of my world in order to come live in yours. Somebody may use a cane or a walker as well. We have Page of Swords sideways. This is going to so deflate this character. Not that Cancer has to feel bad about that. Cancer has to do what's right for themselves. But there is an element where it's like they maybe have already guessed some of this, that it's going to be a really tough sell for Cancer to like make these changes and just come into their world. We have Strength card upright. I think they know how strong Cancer is. Cancer has all of their own elements, their own life. They don't just surrender everything to be absorbed into someone else's world. But man, this is going to make them really sad. I almost wonder, was there also something at stake here where it's like, will you also join my spiritual belief, my religious belief? And Cancer might say, like, I can't just convert to everything in your world if it's not really, like, I have my own strong beliefs and my beliefs might be different. It just feels like this is a huge amount of like, I want to welcome you and we could be so good together. But it all feels like all the concessions in this storyline were expected to come from Cancer. And they recognize, they know, and they're learning it even more so. Cancer has a very strong backbone. Cancer doesn't just do what other people would like them to. And although I think it's going to break their heart, because I don't know how much compromise they were really offering. This feels like somebody was offering something to Cancer, but it was like not necessarily a negotiation. It was like, you leave everything and then I'll give you everything. I don't think Cancer wants that. Not in this fictional story. This does not feel like a Cancerian who would be willing to let somebody else lay things out for them. Let's say this is about a career. It's like, oh, just come work for me. And it's like, I'll make sure that your bills are paid. Yeah, but I don't want to work for a family member who makes sure my bills are paid. I want a standard 9 to 5 job where I can, not feel obligated to come in and work as much overtime as the family needs. I would rather work for somebody else than the family business because it would be too absorbing, too all consuming. And I don't want to have you like, you decide when you give me a car. No, I want an actual paycheck. I want a savings. Oh, I'll just buy you a house. No, I don't want you to buy me a house. I want to earn the money, know what I'm earning, and then buy myself a house with my money. It really feels like this Cancer expects to have control of their own life, even if it means telling some other person who offered them a lot, no, thank you, because it would take away my control of my own life. And with this Knight of Pentacles here, I really do think this has been really tough for this person. I feel like they're still hoping that Cancer will reconsider. I don't know why they're not negotiating more. Why is it, King of Swords, that you seem to want Cancer on your terms? Queen of Swords. Well, they should understand then. They're like, Cancer is great with me. They're just like me. We would be good together, which would also mean to me, I would argue, then you should understand why Cancer would never allow somebody else to lay out their future and just offer it to them. This Three of Swords, I don't know. I think that the reason it's not a negotiation on their part is like they're trying to do something nice for Cancer. They really are. They think that they're offering something beautiful, and they are, but Cancer still seems reluctant to accept it. Now, let's not forget, this whole story could be told from the opposite perspective. This could be Cancer trying to offer somebody the world, and this person's like, I can't accept. And it's like, but why? I mean, you're wonderful. We're good together. We'd be so good together. Why won't you just move in with me? Everything would make it easier for you. We'd be good together. I know that you've been wounded, and I love you, and I respect you and admire you, and I want you to be here with me. Why won't you just say yes? I don't think it's just to be stubborn. I think what they haven't considered is just like sometimes, the other person wants their time alone. Sometimes the other person wants their freedom. They want to be able to come and go as they choose. Maybe it's just a matter of, I have to think about things. No matter how great an offer this is, any time that you'd be changing something big in life, moving is big, changing relationships is big, getting into a relationship is big, lots of changing jobs is big. Those are huge, big things in life. You don't take those things lightly. And I think more than anything, it's like, maybe this person needs to understand just how big this would be, and maybe give more time also. But I don't see Cancer just jumping on this. I don't know if it's a hard pass, but it definitely looks like there's a lot that would need to still be considered. All right, I'm going to leave this here, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and being with me throughout this week. Well, I've been moving. I actually have much more to do tonight. I've got driving to do tonight and moving to do tonight, so it's going to be a wild ride. But I'm so honored you guys have been with me throughout the week, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.